Hello, welcome to the channel Gaming Like a Noob. I'm the Noob and I call myself Sansomi. And I finally downloaded and installed this mod to get the real trophies here. The mod said that it has 1200 different trophies. So I guess they should at least have all the English here without any problems, I guess. So it looks a little better now. It's a good thing to know that I am responsible for two of these, this one and this one. That's cool. So I have broken even with the others. Now, we are about to start Season 5. Today we're going to play one league game. The rest of the time, or before that league game, we're going to go through the team a bit and I'm going to tell you what I've done and what's happened during the summer here. And I promised you to take a look at what happened in the different top divisions in England here, in the top division and in the top cups and stuff like that. So, but let's start with our club. As you all noticed, they decided to make us professional. Which is very, very cool, of course. And but they did something I was not prepared for, which was a bit of a stupid thing, I think. I mean, what could we have? Somewhere just about 1,000 spectators a game, and we had a capacity of 4,500. And what's the first thing they do when they tell me that they're going to go professional? Well, they decide to actually expand on it. So they're raising the capacity with 1,000 spectators. So it says expanded capacity is 8,000. Well, that's how far we can take this before we have to, before we have to move to another ground. That's a bit sad though. But the first thing that the board says is we're going to rebuild the stadium. It's going to take 1,000 more people. And I just went, what? 1.7 million pounds as well? Putting us in debt. Taking a look here at debt. Taking out a loan for 575,000 just to build that 1,000 spectators when we don't need it. We have 4,500 as a capacity. We are nowhere near that yet. I mean, yeah, maybe we get a really high bump of attendance, but I really believe that 4,500 would be enough, even if we were able to fill 5,500. So that's the disappointing thing, that they decided to expand on the stadium. Now, I always like when they do stuff like that, but then we need to have the money for it. For me, it would have been much more of a wise thing to put that into, I don't know, upgrade the training facilities. When we have basic training facilities, or upgrade the youth facilities, we have poor youth facilities. So I don't know how they are thinking here, but you can see here planned stadium 1,000 seating capacity expanded, completion the 6th of August, so 3 days until that's going to happen. But yeah, as I said, it's weird. And this, to be honest, I don't know if we even get more people, because it's only that they have seating capacity expansion. So that might very well mean that we can even get less of a capacity, because they have changed standing to seatings. Well, we're going to have to see in 3 days. But that was very irritating for me. And yeah, I didn't like that at all. Though I have I got a no when I asked them to improve the training facilities, but the youth facilities they said okay, we do that. So yeah, and I haven't asked for this expand stadium. I haven't asked for it, and they did it anyway. They didn't even consider talking to me about it. But yeah, guess that's just the way it is. Anyway, I've done some stupid things as well, of course, as I do every season. I've actually bought a lot of players, and I haven't bought any players. As usual, I have signed a lot of players. I think it was Matt Mickelson was the latest that you know about. I think I signed him before. Not having a work permit, and now we can't lend him out, so we're in deep trouble when it comes to Matt Mickelson. But I'm trying to get a loan deed for him so that he can, because he's in the Faroe Islands. I mean, if he only gets regular playtime anywhere in let's say a low division in Sweden or a low division in England, or well, I can't in England because he's not since he doesn't have a work permit, he can't play in England. But anywhere, if he just gets playtime he can play in a really bad league. If he only gets playtimes, he's going to be taken out to the Faroe Island national side, and that should in itself be the only thing that is needed for him to get a work permit. So yeah, that's why I signed him despite not getting a work permit, because I thought that would be probably the most easiest way, easiest player, one of the most easiest player to get a work permit. Because let's be honest, the Faroe Islands, their team, well, they don't have a lot of players. First of all, there's not many people living on that island. So, and their national side is of course crap. So as long as he gets week out and week out gaming, there shouldn't be a problem not take him to the national side. So, and I feel that he is also he has that kind of current ability, and especially the potential ability that he possesses. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on. We have Samuel Adey. And the thing that I said when I said that I was stupid is that I signed so many players, and probably most of them won't be getting into the team, because when I once got them and I having a look at them and I said, are they really better than the ones that I have now? And I don't know. It's going to be I'm pretty sure this is going to be a season of trial and errors, to be honest. But yeah, I have high hopes for Carl Coleman, a former United right defender. I think he's got, especially when he's with his determination being at 20, I think that's a good sign for a youth player. Other than that, I don't think I have very high hopes. But yeah, I've lent 2 central defenders as well, which will make it hard for me to use. For example, Charlie Wiggett. But maybe keeping him out of the team for a while will make him develop, because I think he's been pretty stagnant. He hasn't been getting where I thought he would be at this time. At the same time, we haven't had the possibility to train as much as we're going to do this season, since we haven't been a professional team and hasn't had the ability to train all those sessions. And then I've lent out Ryan Trevitt and Freddie Potts and tried, and Daniel Grimshaw is lent out as well. So we have gotten rid of Uludare and Chiron. So what else has happened here? I think we've gone through most of it already, actually. We had a pretty good pre-season. Started out not quite bad, but at the same time, we have to realize Celtic is a top team in Scotland. Burnley is now a championship team. They were a Premier League team last season. A bit disappointed that they didn't even have Oscar Thorne on the bench when we met them, so that was a bit of a disappointment. Other than that, it's been going good for us in the training games here before the season, which has been nice to see. We're going to have a debut in this division against Forest Green. That's the only game that we're going to play in today's episode. I think I'm going to try to keep it short, and we're just going to go through a couple of things here. And I'm pretty sure that we have gone through most of it when it comes to the club. So, but yeah. So, been a lot of signings. Yeah. And I'm questioning myself if they are good enough signings. But I'm up for a fight. I'm completely honest. I'm happy if we end up staying in this division. Even if we end up in a position in the 22nd position, I would be happy. Because, yeah, it's going to be a tough season. We don't have the money or the capability, and all the players that I've ever signed has always been free transfers. So only money they cost me is the salaries and the signing on fee. Other than that, everybody has been on a free transfer, and we've been lucky so far to be able to do that. But now we've come up to a professional league, and that's going to be harder to try and find free players to be good enough to keep us in the professional leagues. But we're still going to have to do that because we don't have the money to splash out on finished products, to not even to be able to find a team that can handle this division. So yeah, it's the way it is. It's the way the cookie crumbles. It is nice to see this though. Where did I? 1, 2, 3, 4. I took it over here, right? Or was it here? No, it gotta be. Is this season? 23, 24? No, it isn't. So I took over here. That was my first season. Finishing 9th. And in the second season, yes, I finished 4th because I won in the playoffs. Then in the third season, I actually went all the way up to 5th position in the Panorama National League, which was such a huge surprise for us. But I guess I did find the right players in between here. And yeah, I guess I found the right players in front of the last season as well, because we ended up winning the trophy. And as you all remember, we went very well in the FA Cup and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the Premier League, and we're going to go back a season here. We can see Manchester United won the Premier League, which for me is happy news, because as I probably told you a couple of times, Manchester United is my favourite team, so good for them to win. But they do still have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as the manager, which is kind of cool. But they bought a lot of... No, I went into my squad. Here, this is where I should go. They do still have Henderson, and they did still... Yeah, David De Gea played a lot last season, I think. But the other one, Edison Alvarez... It's somebody that they've gotten in. Anel, remember this player? If you watched me play as Manchester United, you have watched me sign this player a couple of times. or both times. I'm trying to sign him in the second try, I guess. I don't know if I've gotten him at this moment. But yeah, I didn't know that he played for United. I definitely didn't know that he had been in United this long in this game. I really haven't taken a look at Manchester United like this before, but he's been there quite a long time. And in my game, I've tried to sign him this time. The first time where I did get the sack, I did sign him. So I guess Ole Gunnar sees the same as I did when it came to Arnell. Another Cristiano Romero. Donny van der Beek is being used. So not many players left here of the... When you look at the players that was there when we start. They are all on the bench, I guess. Paul Pogba, Harry Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, Greenwood, Rashford, Dalot. But yeah, a lot of new players and a lot of new faces in that team. But we are not going to just play around with that. We are going to the Champions League. Who won the Champions League? UEFA Champions League. Let's see the final. Liverpool beating Barcelona 3-0 in the final, played at Wembley. So they did have a home turf. So that's good. That's cool. What was the semi-finals? Liverpool beating Paris Saint-Germain. Barcelona beating Dortmund. Is there any interesting team in the quarterfinals? United going out against Barcelona on penalties. Real Madrid went out against Paris Saint-Germain. Juventus against Dortmund. And City went out against Liverpool. It was tight there as well. Cool. So let's have a look at the FA Cup then. I think it was Chelsea actually beating the team that took us out. Okay, there it is. And let's go back a season and we go to the final. No, it was Wolves. They beat Wolves. Was it Wolves that won over Norwich in the semi-final then? I remember Norwich still being... Yeah, they went out against Chelsea in the semi-finals, Norwich. So after beating us in this 5th round, they actually took out Everton in the round after that, in the quarterfinals. So, but Chelsea ending up as winner of the FA Cup. Interesting for me, I guess. But I think that's pretty much all that we know. Other, I don't know, maybe you want to see the Europa League? How am I spelling that? I'm going blank in my head. Why is it going blank in my head? There we go. Totally blank in my head. UEFA Europa League. It looked like it was Arsenal winning it last season. Yes, beating Chelsea. They were in another final there against Arsenal. And now that let's go into Man United to actually see their schedule last season, and we can see they started the season by winning UEFA Super Cup, so they actually did a treble because they won the league, they won UEFA Super Cup, and they actually won the League Cup as well, beating Liverpool. So that's interesting for me anyway. But that's what happens. That's what happened in that one. We have a team leader finally, Chris Wiggett, but now this season he seems to be out of it because I feel that these two here that I have lent in are a lot better. There's still going to be times for him to play, but I think he's fourth in the choosing here. Robert Stokes and John Kerry are the first two to play as a central defense, and then we have actually Jude Russell to play as a third choice, and after that we have our I think, where can he be? Where's my little friend? Yeah, there he is, Charlie Wiggett. But on the other hand, maybe this will give him an opportunity to train better and become better, because I haven't felt that he's really been developing at us, and I had high hopes that he would do that. Now we have a good amount of training as well, that we can train every day and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think I bought a lot of strikers as well, which means that it will be problematic for a lot. Sam Dalby looks like a really gem, so he's probably going to play. I don't know with who though. Glenn Wade seems to be a very good player, and same goes for Kerry Andrews, as we know, Neil Flahaven, as we know, and maybe Jake Fisher will blossom this season, who knows. So there's a lot of competition, but just for nostalgia, because I can see that this player isn't, we can see it on the stars, that he's not up to par to the other ones, but maybe when I need to rest a couple of players and stuff like that. Tom Staggs is back at Welling, and yeah, might be changing his mind about me when he's not going to be able to play like the amount of games that he got when he played with us before. But it's nice to have him back at the club. Too bad that Oscar Thorne isn't still here so that they could team up again, perhaps. But yeah, let's get on with it. Let's see and play that game and see how we start this season. And it is our first little try in a professional league, so it's going to be interesting, definitely. And it's interesting to get 7 substitutes as well. That I have missed when we've been down there. So Jason Steele, of course, our first choice. Toby Egan on the bench. Personally, I want Carl Coleman. He might not be the best right back, but I think he is. There's so little difference between the others. If he's not the best one, there is so little difference between him and Harry or whatever. So, and then I prefer a former United player, of course. Then we have Stokes and Kerry, and on the left side, well, we can't seem to play Oscar Torres, but then on the other hand, yeah, we can play with Joe Bennett. Let's give him the opportunity. Now, the poor thing, or the bad thing is this one. We have this player, but we have only been able to train him up to awkward in that position. But we're going to play him anyway. We're trying to train him to become good at that position. So, which I feel is the position that we're lacking a really good player in. We can see that the midfield here looking very tired. So this is not. We've been doing a lot of training. Of course, it's a pre-season training and stuff like that, but I didn't think that they would be this tired. Gardner's been injured, and he's still going to need 2 days before he's fully recovered. So he's not going to play. Let's put Azaz in that position. Left midfielder, we did prolong the length of Jude, so he's gonna be with us for yet another season, which I find very nice. Then my choice, as I've looked through the preseason games here, my choice is Sam Dolby to be the deep lying forward. And then I haven't really decided yet, but I think I'm going to go with Corey Andrews for the other striker. So like that. And then we have a bench to fill. And yeah. I am thinking maybe Steve Vance or Jude Russell. Jude Russell would be good. Because he can play right and central. So we only need a left defender as a substitute there, and we can cover the entire defense if somebody gets injured or something. So I'm going to go with Terenzi, who is going to be the #1 player once he's fully fit and stuff like that. And then, yeah, we have this one as well, another defensive midfielder that I bought. And of course, we're using him in that sort of situation. But yeah, I want him to be on the bench because I'm hoping he will be developing into a player that we can use. And of course, we have Jake Fisher that's going to get the opportunity, and Neil Flahaven. Now, we have Glenn Wade. I was considering him, but he's recently been injured, or out with a food poisoning, I think it was. I have Tom Staggs, but Staggs is way down in the rankings. So I guess this is the team that we're going to play today. And it's going to be interesting to see if we can get anything out of this game. I know that we're going to face off against one of our former players, where Vincent Francis is a player of Forest Green, if he hasn't been sold, but I don't think so. So let's go into this game. Yeah, we can just right click so that they get numbers. Here we go. Let's have a look at the lineup. Are we going to be facing... No, Francis is not... No, I'm looking in my team. Here he is. Francis Vincent is in their team. How stupid am I looking at my own team? And this is another player that we tried to buy, Donovan Willoughby, whatever. Will Donovan, we tried to get him. I think if there is anybody that was better than Carl Coleman, it was Donovan. So they most likely have done a really good deal signing him. But let's hope that that doesn't mean that they will beat us. We still have a lot to play for, I hope. We've got nothing to lose here. We know how good we are. Let's go with that. Let's kick off. Here we go, boys and girls. First ever professional game for Welling United. First real game as a professional club and in a professional league for Welling United. And starts out with it's been almost 15 minutes without anything really created. Here's Hughes with a free kick. But that doesn't go very good. We still keep the ball. Here's Subajay and then Andrews, but it's been disallowed as an offside. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame, really. Could have done better, I think. Yeah, I know that Afuka is out of position, but that's the position I want him to play in. That's the position I'm trying to train him into be. And I thought I was going to be, because I bought him before any of the training games, so I thought maybe I can get him to become good. Oh, there we have it. What's going on? We're taking the lead. Can we get a good score here in the very first professional game? We can't continue on last seasons and keep a top position or a top half of the division. I think this is just, I don't know, maybe Forest Green isn't that good. Well, in all honesty, Francis Vincent was a good player, but that was when we played way down in South. So he was one of the big reason why we managed to get promoted from the Vanarama League South, but that's 2 divisions down, and I don't think he's a brilliant player in this division. He might be an okay player for it, but not somebody that we should be afraid of. But here they come. Can they equalize? Hope not. Good breaking there. Here's Dolby. Dolby to Andrews. Andrews! Oh! Just over. And if we can start with a win, what a nice thing that would be. I mean, I don't have any belief that we can redo what we've done previous season and become a top side in the new division. I don't see that happening. But of course, if we can secure a couple of really good games in the start of the season, if we can get a good start, we might be feeling confident enough to not be close to going out of the division. Maybe we'll end up somewhere around 18, 19 and a couple of, or maybe a couple of 10 or 20 points away from going out. That would be good. It's good enough for me, certainly. My goal is, of course, to establish this as a League 2 team now. And the thing is, I'm gonna sabotage for myself if I get close to getting promoted, I think. Corey Andrews, perfect, because now we have reached the professional leagues, and if we, by some strange fluke, ending up in the top of the table here, I'm gonna do my best not to get promoted, because there's no way we can afford to buy players for League 1 football. There's no way that these players that I have, these young players that I have, will develop that much that they are ready for League 1 football the next season. And we can't afford it. We have to build this club in a slow way. So I hope, of course, Corey Andrews with a hat-trick! How nice isn't that? Good start for Welling United. 3-pointer at once on away turf against Forest Green. And yeah, I guess because we did offer him a contract, I should say, Donovan. We offered him a contract and he chose to go to Forest Green. So it's not like I was thinking about it. We had an offer. We had an offer that he accepted, but he preferred to go to Forest Green. So that feels good to beat him, of course. Good start with this. And look at this. Francis Vincent was not. He was the worst player on the pitch. Our former player. Maybe he did it because he was feeling sorry for us. I don't know. But we start this season off with a good win, and that's nice. I mean, 7.2 on Ofoka. Sorry if that sounded dirty. 7.2 in average rating on a player that plays out of position, even if he's getting there. He's getting better and better to fit into that position, of course, with every game he plays, but still, that's really good. He's playing really good despite we going up, and look at Andrews, really, really good. So that was a good start of the season. a really good start to the season, and I feel that we have a team to be able to stay in this division. Really. I must say this, I'm far from off believing that we're going to be competing against these positionings at the end of the season, but most likely somewhere around here we are going to be able to get. The important thing is that we don't get here, because that's a position that can get me fired, and the last thing I want is to get fired. I'd rather stay in the League 2 here now, as that's probably the biggest reason why I don't want to get promoted, and why I would sabotage for myself if I end up being here at the end of the season, is that if I go up to League 1, there's no way I'm going to be able to put together a team strong enough to compete in League 1. So there is a humongous chance that I would get relegated from League 1. And if I get relegated, well, there is a big chance that I lose the job. And that's what we mainly are trying not to do. The most important thing is to keep the job for as many seasons as possible and see how high we can get Welling United, what kind of stature we can get it to, and how we can improve the team with training facilities and everything. And I don't want to run through the divisions just to get to the top. That's not our thing, because the risk of getting relegated is so high, and if I get relegated, there is a very high chance of me getting fired. I mean, it doesn't matter that I have taken them up two notches, 2 divisions. I think even if I take them up now 3 divisions, if I go down, my job is in danger. That's just the way it is in the football world. So for me, I'd rather just stay close to the top. Of course, we want to win as many games as possible that we can without reaching League 1. Now, I don't think that that's going to be a problem, because I think this was just a good start. We will not be playing like this every game, and perhaps Forest Green is really one of the lower or worst team in this division. So I don't have high hopes that we're going to be fighting anywhere near the top. But we never know. We'll never know. Well, I won't say never, because we won't know until we play the games. That's what I was supposed to say. So Forest Green's been written off then. We've beaten them, and that's cool. And yeah, Andrews was perfect this game. I was so close to choose Gladwade, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't. So that's another interesting thing. But I look at my team, and of course, the 2 players that we've been able to lend in as well for this season seems to be really good players, and they play in important positions in the team, playing in the central defence, which if they can keep clean sheets for us, of course we will be doing well here. But yeah, long way to go as well for the season, but it's a good start. Let's be satisfied by saying that we've started out good, and yeah, next game is against Burton, which is in 7 days, which gives us an entire week to rest here and come back. But then we have a League Cup game against Leyton Orient, and then Mansfield and Fleetwood. That's going to be our next episode. Those 4 games is the next episode of the Welling United save. We have played episode 1, sort of pre-season episode, with just 1 game of the season coming in here, and I hope you have enjoyed it, and do like, subscribe and all that nice stuff. It will really help me out. Don't forget that subscriptions is free. So and stay safe and have fun. Don't forget to have fun. That's important. And I'll just end with bye 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 bye.